If you want to sound fluent and confident in English, watch today's video. If you've been watching my channel, you know I like to talk about idioms. Idioms are phrases which have a figurative or metaphorical meaning, and native speakers use idioms all the time. So today, I'm going to teach you 20 everyday idioms that native speakers use and that you should use too. My name is Michael Anton. I'm the founder of English at the Ready, and it's my goal to make you fluent in English. This is going to be a bit of a longer video today, but these idioms are so important. So grab a pen and paper, write them down, and make sure you practice using them next time you're speaking English with somebody. With that out of the way, let's start with the first idiom on our list. What does it mean to call it a day? When you say you're calling it a day, it means you're stopping work. To call it a day means to stop working for now or for the day. For example, we've done enough. Let's call it a day. Let's stop working. Or it's late. I'm calling it a day. This idiom is used when you've finished your work or you've had enough for the moment. It's perfect for work or study situations, and it's commonly used at the end of a shift or task to signal that no more effort and no more work is needed for now. So whether you're in an office, a classroom, or maybe you're working from home, if you say, let's call it a day, it means you want to finish your work. Next up, what does it mean to pull someone's leg? When you pull someone's leg, it means you joke with them or you tease them. For example, you might say, relax, I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just joking. Or don't take him seriously. He's pulling your leg. He's teasing you. He's joking with you. You can use this when you're not serious and when you're just making a joke. Native speakers often use this idiom when they're saying something silly or unbelievable just to get a reaction. It shows humor and friendliness, but it's best used with people you know well. Now, moving on. Here's an idiom you can use if you're feeling sick. To be under the weather. When you're under the weather, it means you're feeling sick or unwell. For example, I'm staying home today. I'm feeling under the weather. Or she's a bit under the weather, so she skipped class. She was feeling a bit sick. This idiom is a softer way of saying you're sick. Not seriously ill, just not feeling great. Maybe you're feeling a bit off. You're tired, you're dizzy, or even hungover. It's an informal and polite way to talk about being unwell without going too much into details. Now, idiom number 4. What does it mean to break the ice? When you break the ice, it means you start a conversation or you make people feel more comfortable to speak. For example, his joke really broke the ice. Or I used a game to break the ice at the meeting. You can use this idiom in social or work settings, maybe when people feel awkward at the beginning, and it helps to open people up. For example, on a first date, in a new class, or in a job interview. If you break the ice, you make it easier for people to connect and relax. An icebreaker is a short activity, question, or joke which we use to break the ice. Now, number 5, what does it mean to let the cat out of the bag? When you let the cat out of the bag, it means you accidentally reveal a secret. For example, he let the cat out of the bag about her surprise party. Or don't let the cat out of the bag. I haven't told anyone yet. You can use this idiom when someone says something they shouldn't have. For example, they reveal something too early or by accident. It normally applies to secrets, announcements, or plans that were meant to be kept hidden until someone lets it slip. Next up, what does it mean when something costs an arm and a leg? When something costs an arm and a leg, it's very expensive. For example, this car cost an arm and a leg. Or the wedding must have cost an arm and a leg. Must have been very expensive. This idiom adds a bit of emotion, normally frustration, and it emphasizes something that wasn't just expensive, it was painfully expensive. Maybe luxury items, travel costs, or unexpected repair bills. It cost an arm and a leg. Now, what does it mean to spill the beans? When you spill the beans, it means you reveal a secret or surprise. For example, don't spill the beans. It's a secret. Or she spilled the beans about the new project. This one's very similar to let the cat out of the bag, but it's more often used on purpose. When you spill the beans, you say something on purpose. And it's often used in situations involving surprises, gossip, or juicy news. If somebody's planning something secretly, they might ask you not to spill the beans. Okay, what does it mean to get cold feet? We use this idiom when somebody gets nervous and backs out from something. For example, he got cold feet before the wedding, or he wanted to apply for the job, but he got cold feet. He backed out at the last minute. This idiom is normally used for important decisions like jobs, proposals, or life changes, where fear suddenly replaces confidence. To get cold feet. What does it mean when somebody says the ball is in your court? When the ball is in your court, it's your turn to decide or act. For example, I've made the offer. Now the ball's in your court. She apologized, and now the ball is in his court. It's his turn to make a move. I think this one comes from tennis, and it's used in negotiations, relationships, or anytime when a decision needs to be made. It's like saying, I've done my part, now it's up to you. Now, the 10th idiom on our list, to get the hang of something. What does it mean to get the hang of something? When you get the hang of something, you learn how to do it well. For example, you might tell somebody, don't worry, you'll get the hang of it. You'll learn. Or after a few tries, I finally got the hang of driving. You can use this idiom when something feels hard at first, but becomes easier with practice. And it's often used for skills. For example, riding a bike, using a new app, or even speaking in public. The more you do it, the more natural it feels, and you get the hang of it. Now, before we continue the video, if you're serious about sounding fluent in English, I've created a free fluency training that walks you through my full method of improving your English using your computer, your phone, and the internet. It's already helped over 14,000 students speak English more confidently, and you can get it for free by clicking the link in the description below. And hey, if you're learning something right now, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to English at the Ready here on YouTube, and don't forget to comment what's your favorite idiom so far. Now, with that out of the way, let's continue and get into the next idiom. You can use this next idiom after doing something stressful, to blow off steam. When you blow off steam, it means you release stress or frustration. For example, he plays video games to blow off steam, or go for a walk. You need to blow off some steam. When you blow off steam, it's about releasing emotional pressure. It could involve exercise, talking to a friend, or doing something fun to feel better, to cool down and to stay calm, to blow off steam. Next up, what does it mean when something is up in the air? When something is up in the air, it's uncertain or undecided. You don't know yet. It's up in the air. For example, our vacation plans are still up in the air, or everything's up in the air until we get confirmation. This idiom works for any situation that isn't finalized. For example, plans, jobs, or decisions. It gives the appearance of something floating up in the air with no clear direction. And again, you can use it whenever you don't know what's going to happen, whenever something is up in the air. What does it mean to go the extra mile? When you go the extra mile, it means you do more than expected. For example, she always goes the extra mile for her clients. If you want to succeed, go the extra mile. Do more than necessary, do more than expected. This one's great for business or motivation, and you can use it when you help somebody, when you finish a task, or you add value to something, maybe at work or at school. You go the extra mile. It's a good thing. What does it mean when somebody says, let's go back to square one? When you go back to square one, it means you start over again from the beginning. For example, my hard drive crashed, and now I'm back to square one. Or the plan failed, so now it's back to square one. You can use this when a project or a plan fails and you need to restart from the beginning. It's often frustrating when something like this happens, but it also means you get a second chance to do better, to go back to square one and to do things again. Now, next up, what does it mean to do something by the book? When you do something by the book, it means you follow the rules exactly. For example, the accountant does everything by the book. He's always very strict. He's always going by the book, following the rules, following the law, doing things by the book. This idiom can be positive, for example, if you're careful or you're following the law, or it can also be negative if you're too rigid or uncreative. It totally depends on the context. Now, what does it mean to cut to the chase? When you cut to the chase, it means you get to the point. You're direct. For example, we're short on time. Cut to the chase. Get to the point. Or your boss might tell you, let's cut to the chase. You're fired. You can use this idiom when there's no time to waste and you need to be direct. You need to cut to the chase. Now, idiom number 17. What does it mean to face the music? When you face the music, you accept consequences for something. For example, he made a mistake and now he has to face the music. Or they cheated on the test and they were caught. Now they need to face the music. You can use this when somebody has to deal with the consequences of their actions, even if those consequences are unpleasant. It's used when someone avoids responsibility until they can't anymore. They need to face the music. And on a similar note, we have the next idiom, to be in hot water. When you're in hot water, you're in trouble. For example, he forgot the deadline. Now he's in hot water with his boss. Or if you keep arriving late to school, you'll be in hot water. If you get in hot water, or if you are in hot water, it implies serious consequences if you don't fix things soon. You're in trouble. You're in hot water. What does it mean to read between the lines? When you read between the lines, you understand the hidden meaning of something. For example, she didn't say it, but I read between the lines. She's upset. Or read between the lines. Something's not right here. You can use this idiom when you sense something that's not being said directly. Somebody who has high emotional intelligence is good at reading between the lines. And lastly, what does it mean to throw in the towel? When you throw in the towel, you give up. For example, after 3 failed attempts, he threw in the towel. Or don't throw in the towel yet. Keep trying. I think this idiom comes from boxing. It's dramatic, but it's great when somebody wants to quit or surrender or give up. It's like saying, I've done my best, but I'm done. I give up. I need to throw in the towel. Now, we've come to the end of today's video. If you found these 20 idioms useful, make sure to leave a like, let me know in the comments, and subscribe to English at the Ready here on YouTube so you don't miss any future videos. If you want to improve your English using only your computer, your phone, and the internet, make sure to get my free fluency training. You can click the link in the description below to get access to the training. It's only 30 minutes long and it's completely free. And of course, if you want real speaking practice, you can click the link below to learn more about the English at the Ready Club, which is my private community where you get group classes with native speakers, study resources, support, video lessons, and so much more. Keep up the good work, and I'll see you in the next lesson.